show. Wait, it's my show. What is it?
It's our show.
Welcome to Last Call of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society.
Jeremy Johnson, Jim Range, Craig Nasello off to the side here having a cocktail with us. We always want to bring you as much content as we possibly can here on the world of whiskey. So, Jim, tonight though, we are talking rye after hours because Craig, we talked about it on the show this week, is not a rye person.
And he just...
We had a fan actually say, you know, why does Craig not like rye? He said, you know, it's the spice, it's the flavor, and that's understood. But whenever you really get into a rye pour, what kind of flavors can you expect?
Oh my God, it's wide open, and you're Craig in the background.
Yep.
I do need a drink though, Jeremy. Where do you want to recommend? Where do you want to start?
So I think that probably since you've got a great selection here behind us of some great bourbons and ryes, let's hit the Midwinter Nights Dram. I think
it's one of our favorites.
It is.
It really is.
It's a great blend of rye whiskey.
It's hard to find. It's going to be being released soon. This is not a swinging move.
No, but it's a very tasty
But it's
product.
a very tasty rye.
So.
And what I love about ryes is you get that caramel and the allspice on the front. I mean, the moment you just start enjoying it, and
Well,
we've talked.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that people, really don't get about ryes is that, number one, it has to be 51% rye to be called a rye.
I wasn't going there yet.
Well, no, but it's one of those things that you have to get to that point. You're going to get a lot more. Think of it as, we had a good example on the show of think about it as white bread versus rye bread.
Yeah.
There's a lot more flavor that goes into the grains of rye, and it comes into the prep and everything of that, and that's a lot of technical, but really kind of give the idea of what your base rye is going to give, like flavor-wise.
You're going to need a little more spice, and I still think you pick up the vanillas and the caramels on the nose, depending on the rye, but on the back end, you're going to get that. Some people say it's a bite. I don't like saying that. Craig says it just burns. But you're getting a little more allspice flavor. You're getting that, like you said, we talked about earlier. It's a white bread versus rye bread. You get that different flavor profile. You don't get the sweetness you get with a high corn mash bill or a wheated mash bill. You get that rye flavor. You're a little more spice with it. On the nose, you really pick up a little bit of cinnamon, I think. I love Midwinters. It is a great one to start with. Yeah, and it's a rye.
It's one of those.
What's interesting is
find it.
When you can find it, it is.
And it's a year. This one is a yearly release. But yeah, you really do. Just off of the nose, you're going to get a little bit of cake spice, some almost toasty notes, of course, because you do get that from the barrels. But
yeah, you get that toasted oak.
You're really going to get a lot of. Especially in this one, I get a lot of pumpernickel type of, so if you're used to a pumpernickel bread, you're going to get some of those kind of flavors to it. But it's one of those that it makes a great cocktail because it does have such a pronounced flavor to it. So what do you guys think of rye? Let us know in the comments on Twitter at MMA Bourbon or on Instagram at MMA Bourbon Society.
And now that we've wrapped that up,
okay,
I'm going to throw a curveball at Jeremy.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And we're going to talk about, one, I don't mix like a Midwinter's, your one-off ryes, I don't mix. They make a great drink, I know. But let's talk high rye bourbon versus a rye, which is, your bourbon's got to be 51% corn. Oh my God, I don't have 51% corn, I've got 51% rye. So now I've got my ryes, but what's a high rye bourbon?
So what you're looking at then is, so of course you got to make up the rest of it. Most of them that call themselves a high rye is anywhere about 30% up. So, and I know that we're going way in the weeds with this as far as the technicals go, but what it's going to do is it's going to give you a lot of sweetness in the corn, but it's also going to play that very spicy to it. And when we say spicy, we don't mean hot. We mean you're going to get a lot of allspice. You're going to get a lot of flavors that way. So when you can, check out a high rye and let us know what you think. From high ryes to wheateds, what is your taste profile? Let us know in the comments at MMA Bourbon Society on Instagram, at MMA Bourbon on Twitter. What's up, everybody? Last call with the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society, Jeremy Johnson and Craig Nasello. Did I get that one right this time?
That takes better.
Do you like that one? It rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Sure, we'll go with tongue.
All right, perfect. Now, so we've been trying to bring a lot of content to the page here on YouTube. We're doing a lot of things now. Craig,
YouTube and Instagram that I can't use my name.
well, I don't know what it is. I mean, I don't know what even is your Instagram handle, Craig?
Craig the Cut Slut.
Well, I mean, that's interesting.
Pretty
so,
funny. I don't care.
You know, it is what it is. All
As
right.
producer Matt goes.
No, but so we kind of take this time to kind of dive a little bit deeper for a quick into the world of whiskey. You are probably the biggest Tennessee whiskey fan that I know.
Kentucky bourbon. Come on now. Or Tennessee bourbon. I'm sorry.
It is not bourbon.
It's bourbon. It says it on the bottle.
No.
Jimmy?
So we're going to talk about, no, Tennessee whiskey does not say bourbon on the bottle. But you are a huge fan of Tennessee whiskey, in particular Jack Daniels. Give me the reasons kind of why.
It's consistent. It's very, you know what you're going to get with a bottle of Jack Daniels. Plain and simple. It's just how it is. It's going to be the same flavoring every single time. And I'm a kind of a creature of habit with that. Like you've worked with me.
Yeah.
There's certain things that I'm OCD about, and that's one of them. I like the consistency of something being the same every time. So, especially like I'm really picky with what I eat and drink.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
That you are. I mean, for real. Like people who don't understand, Craig is an incredibly not picky eater, but it's the same thing a lot all the time.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same process every time, and it really comes down to though with this one that you are. You know, I mean, we were all Jack and Coke fans at one point in time.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, it takes me back to high school. I mean, honestly, no. But I mean, I really like, I just like Jack and Cokes. I mean, it's just how it is. And I'm not going to take Coca-Cola and put it in a bottle of Four Roses or Little Pig. I mean,
yeah,
let's be honest. It's not, you know, it's cheap.
Right.
It's a cheap bottle. It's a cheap drink to make. It's not.
And
you know.
The thing that gets me with it is we always have the banter back and forth of, is Tennessee whiskey bourbon, is it not bourbon?
It says it on the label.
It really doesn't, but it is the same base process, and then it uses something called the Lincoln County method to finish, where they run it through the charcoal after the distillate's been made.
Right.
And that's what supposedly takes and makes the sweetness of it before it's ever aged in a barrel.